Good evening, Fantasy Premier League managers. This is my first live stream. Today is the reaction to Game Week 27. My name is Mo. Welcome to FPL Inkling. My channel has recently started, so I have been doing videos that are recorded. However, this is the first one I'm doing as a live stream. So today we're going to do a reaction to how Game Week 27 went. Tell me how you guys have been. How did it go for you guys? Thank you so much for all your kind support, feedback, and kind gestures for allowing me to continue streaming. Before we start, let me guys tell you, it's a big point to celebrate for us. I got 100 subscribers last night, so we are on 103 right now. So thank you so much. If you're enjoying what you see, I still see that around 70% of people who watch my videos are actually not my subscribers. So please, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like my content. Let me know how I'm doing. And if you want to get notifications to get live streams, because this is my first one, so sorry if there are a few kind of like interruptions or kind of like phases which you're not used to from the original views from videos that you do get. But I'll try to make it as natural as I possibly can. It's a one-take effect, and I'll try not to make any errors. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's had a good week in regards to their Game Week 27, and I hope you guys have got the points you guys were looking for, so please subscribe to the channel. In terms of myself, I'll tell you guys again, I have a bet with one of my friends. By the end of this season, so Game Week 38, if I can get 500 subscribers, what that basically means for me is I'll win a bet and I'll get a PS5 from him. So please support me, subscribe to my channel, get the latest content so I can give you guys all the latest news in regards to how everything went. I am brand new to this. I want to get better. I'll be around for a long time, so please support me and let me know how I'm doing and let me know how your teams are doing. So let's begin with the reaction. First reaction, City lose their streak. I'm the most happiest United fan that you can find. Yes, De Bruyne was my captain this week, but I don't really care. United win again at the Etihad. That's 3 back-to-back wins at a rival's ground. We made City look quite average. They had a 28-game unbeaten run. You would never thought it the way they played. And I had a few players that actually did me some good service. So how did your week go? What's gone well for you? I've got some questions as well. So that's on the screen on my left-hand side. So in between, whilst we're going through my teams and squads, I will let you guys know how I did and how my team's gone as well. So let's have a look at from the back how we've done. So you guys can see the fixtures for Game Week 29. There is a reason why I've got those 4 fixtures still on my screen, which we will go through during the stream as well, because it is quite a vital game week now, and with the way Spurs have performed, I think that's the game I want to really stress and highlight. So bear with me, I've got that in there for a reason. We will go through that as the stream progresses, because it's going to help me kind of identify who to bring in, who not to bring in. And I won't reveal my team straight away, but I will give you guys a hit that I have already made. How many were they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 transfers, I think, this week already. So I've taken a 16-point hit. So that will be my team reveal and preview for Game Week 28. But what we'll do is we'll go through how 27 has gone, what I have remaining, which players are still to play, and what my ambitions are from this game week moving forward. So what I've got so far is 53 points. I think with Luke Shaw getting 3 points, I reckon, and Fernando will probably get 2 from today. So I'm thinking another 5 points. So we're looking at about 58 points from this game week. I had a good start yesterday. I had Ward, Prowse and Martinez playing for me yesterday with Vardy, which gave me a total of 20 points, and I had a good start compared to the average, which was only 10. Martinez, absolute class again, making some wonderful saves. How did Wolves not score? I don't know. Sice was like 3 yards out, over the bar. My heart was in my mouth. I was like, oh no, I've lost a clean sheet. But the luck was on Aston Villa's side. Again, Martinez didn't let me down. 7 points for him. I didn't play Ollie Watkins. I mean, I didn't lose much, because even if I did, it probably was going to be for Bamford, because Vardy was my main striker, who's definitely was going to play based on the game week against Brighton. He was shocking, but in terms of Ollie Watkins, he only got 2 points, so no kind of regrets there from myself. But a huge shout out to Martinez, 7 points again for myself, and I'm not taking him out at all. So a few questions. Is it time for me to drop KDB for Bruno? There are 2 blank game weeks coming up. Good question. So I've got De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes in my squad. So let's have a look. He's got Southampton, which is obviously this game week, so you won't be able to change him if you've got him or not got him for that game. But then followed after that, you've got Fulham, game week 28, which is away. Again, I think most likely he's going to be my captain for that game. Game week 29, yep, he's not going to be playing. But what about taking an approach that I'm thinking of is mainly if you do have 3 City players in your team, why don't you try moving them to your bench and then bringing out a 11-man squad where you can have the players from the teams that you have on my screen. So if you can see the 4 games that are taking place for the 8 teams, why don't you try getting the 11 players from those teams or as many as you potentially think you can. So that will be pretty interesting to see how that works for you guys. So try it that way. I mean, I think you can triple up on Leeds. I think many managers tripled up on Leeds. I believe it was around 2 weeks ago when they had a double game week. So a lot of people brought in with wildcards then, or they took a few hits with Rafinha, Dallas, Bamford, Alioski. So these kind of players were brought in, Harrison. So if you still have them in your squad, I wouldn't tinker too much with them. Maybe put them on the bench if you don't want to play so many Leeds or any other team's players right now. It's just about making sure you get the right amount of players in and balance the squad moving forward. A lot of squads are going to be already set in their ways. Some people might have 3 hits to play in this game week. But if you ask me for my honest opinion, it's worth taking a hit because I've done that previously in my double game week, which I had. And it worked for me. I got 100 points. I lost 16. So let's say 84 points I got. But if I did that with the team I already had, with those double game week fixtures, I probably wouldn't even crossed of, I think, 50 points, if that. So have a look at that. See what you think would be better for you. And then base it upon that. KDB or Bruno, I've got both in my team. If you had to choose between the one. I mean, De Bruyne has the differential aspect, so I can show you that now. So you've got De Bruyne, who's got 16.7% ownership. He's around 11.8 million, so cheaper than Salah. He's got 3 goals and 11 assists. He's blanked in the last 2 games, but again, he's just coming back from an injury. He's going to take a bit of time to settle in. So give him a bit of a benefit of the doubt, but once he is flying, he can have games where he can have 2 returns, 3 returns, and he's someone who's going to be consistent for you in the long run, and he's not one of those who's going to be like part of the Pep roulette. So there's no chance of him being dropped week in, week out, whereas you've got someone like Torres, Gundogan, Silva, even Mahrez and Sterling are regularly kind of rotated or part of the Pep roulette. So it's interesting to see that KDB as the captain is kind of like the most nailed on. So for his position, I definitely would consider taking him out. But you got Fernandes, who's 0.3 mil cheaper. He's owned by 56% of managers. He scored on a penalty today against Man City. He got 8 points so far. I think he'll get another 2 points. So he's got a double-digit game week return. But if you had to choose between the one, as someone who's from an affiliation with Manchester United, I definitely would say Bruno Fernandes, because there's a likelihood with De Bruyne. He might not even take the penalties because you've got other takers such as Aguero, Gundogan, obviously when they play, subject to when they play. You've got Sterling, who likes to take the opportunity to take these free kicks as well, which he scored recently, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, and he's got penalties as well, which he likes to sky over the stands behind the goal. So entirely your choice, what you believe is best for you. Feel free to take that on. But for me, if you had to choose between the two, Fernandes, if you have to have both in, that's my advice to you from there. So someone sent me a question in saying, could I bring in Luke Shaw for John Stones? Well, I've got Luke Shaw in my squad. I'm just going to drop a bit of a teaser. Am I going to keep him? Am I going to drop him for next week? That's something that you guys can look out for. But he's been an absolute phenomenal player for United this season. I'm not going to say this just because he's scored today and he's had a good game, but he's been in my squad for a long, long time, and he's fully vindicated my decision for what he's cost me, for the games he's played. A great player to have. I have seen him kind of struggle in terms of injury a little bit over the last 2 games. He does go down quite frequently. If you ask my honest opinion, I don't think he's fully fit, but he's doing the job for United. They've got a lot of games coming up soon, so they're going to have obviously the Europa League quarter-final stages. They're going to have FA Cup games. Now, is Tellez going to be preferred over him? for those. Are United going to be content with just the second spot? Are they going to chase the league? Has the league slipped out of their hands? So there's a lot of questions to answer from that perspective. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep him in my squad. I might look around to see alternative options who I think might be nailed on for starting, or based on the fact that they've got more favourable fixtures, I might bring him in. But Luke Shaw versus Stones. Now Stones, for me, I know him and Diaz have had a really good partnership over the last, let's say, 6 to 10 weeks. Laporte hasn't kind of solidified his position. Nathan Ake is still out. So you've got a lot of players who are fighting for the same position. Now Pep is never shy of rotating. He's one of those that likes to keep people guessing. So if you're looking to choose between the two, I think even the fact that Luke Shaw is cheaper, it kind of puts another positive spin on this. I would definitely go for Luke Shaw. But if you look at the fixtures coming up, they don't look that great in my personal opinion. So this is the reason why I was saying I might actually think of even taking him out. You've got West Ham home. Now, they come as a difficulty fixture of number 4. Now, any other season you'd look at that, there'll probably be a rating of 3 in terms of difficulty. But the fact that there are 4 is the fact that how well they've done this season. And that's major credit to not only West Ham, but David Moyes and the players that he's put out on the pitch to perform. You've got rockstar players such as Antonio. You've got Lingard, who's gone in, but he's not going to obviously play the game versus United due to the loan conditions. But you've got other players such as Souček, who's been remarkable. You've got Cresswell, who's been an absolute machine in terms of set plays and defensive kind of duties. Kofau, you've always got Fabianski, who may be injured at the moment. So that's not going to be an easy game. Followed by Brighton at home. Now, Brighton away, which United won at the start of the season. I think it was the second game. They won after extra time had finished, or the final whistle. I think the final whistle was blown, not the extra. Yeah, the final whistle was blown after extra time of like 5 to 7 minutes. It was a ridiculous handball. Everyone remembers or have probably forgotten how ridiculous the handball rules were then. Bruno scores, United win that game, and they moved forward. But they're not as bad as they seem when you look at the kind of like Premiership table, how they're doing. I think they're a really good squad, and they've peaked at the right time. It's going to be a really interesting finish between Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, and you've got Fulham. Obviously, they won today. So these aren't oppositions to take lightly. And they're home United. So United haven't been the best at home this season, a bit like Leicester and Liverpool recently, who've lost 6 on the spin. Hey, I got that in. Sorry, Liverpool fans, but I had to get that fact in. So that's not going to be an easy game, followed by Tottenham away. At the London Spurs Stadium, it's not going to be easy. You've got Burnley at home. Again, Burnley, rigid defence, followed by Leeds. Always like to attack, even if they lose 6-4, they'll play aggressive. Then you've got Liverpool at home, followed by Aston Villa, Leicester, Fulham, and Wolves. So you can all see they are testing fixtures. So I don't think they're going to be as easy on the eye as they seem. So if you compare that to, Manchester City's fixtures, let's have a look. So you've got Fulham next weekend, then you've got a blank game week 29 because of the FA Cup, followed by Leicester away. Now it says a difficulty of 4. I don't think that's going to be a difficult game unless Maddison and Harvey Barnes make a remarkable quick comeback. I think that'll be a pretty straightforward game for them because Leicester at home haven't really been the team that they are on the road. Then they've got Leeds at home, followed by Aston Villa, and game week 33 obviously is blank because of the League Cup final. But then they've got Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Newcastle, Burnley, and Everton. So if you look at it from that perspective, I think there's also a chance of a double game week between game week 36, 37, which isn't confirmed yet, guys, so don't take my word for it. But if you had to ask me between Stones and Shaw, despite the difficult fixtures, I would definitely take Luke Shaw because, in my perspective, Stones still has a rotational aspect. Shaw might as well with Tellez there, but the way he's performed, unless he's not injured, which I kind of thought he was, I would stick with Shaw out of the 2. So that's my answer from there. But in terms of my City returns this week, guys, the 3 players, obviously they've got 3 players of mine, including Ward-Prowse. So that's 4 players of mine are still to play the double game week between Southampton and Man City later this week on Wednesday. But between the 3 City players, I only got 7 points. And that's including De Bruyne being my captain. So that's kind of let me down, whereas I'd made gains from Ward-Prowse, which got me 11. What did I say, guys? Ward-Prowse, a set piece, a penalty, a free kick, corner. You just knew it. Danny Ings went off, so it kind of made me think that if they do get a penalty, he will take it. And he didn't let me down. He's got 11 points. Is he going to stay in my squad? I don't know. Can't guarantee that. Is he going to be part of my 6 changes? Is he going to stay? That's something for you guys to look out for when I do my team preview. And I'll show you guys who I've taken out and who I've brought in. So, again, one of my kind of hints or inklings worked. I had a gut feeling about Ward-Prowse for this game. And I'll be honest with you, he hasn't performed for like so many games before that, if you look at it. So the last time he got a return was game week 23. So 1, 2, 3, 4 games he played, no returns. But I just had this inkling about him. So as I said, even if it means taking a hit, guys, don't be afraid to. You'll have all these people who go out there, who make content, who say, we don't want to take a hit, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that, we want to cost us points. But you know what? Sometimes the name of the game is being brave. So take the hit. Let the people know you are brave. You are there to take decisions. This is what management is all about. So sometimes you might lose 4 points to gain 10. Or alternatively, you might lose 4 and a player gets sent off, so you get a -3 or a -4. Again, it might not work out for you, but if you don't try, you won't get. If you've got players who are sat on the bench and they're not giving you anything, or even in the team and they're being rotated, they're off form, they're injured, why hold on to them? Transfer them, guys. Take the hit. Be brave. I mean, that's probably the name of the game now because of the whole corona aspect, the whole kind of like situation of teams rotating. This might be the way moving forward is, being brave, taking those hits. And that's the reason why. Now, a lot of people have asked me about my Gameweek rank, my overall rank in the game. Now, I'll explain that to you guys why I haven't been that great. So, despite me playing this for 4 or 5 years, I still didn't really... In the first game week, United and City didn't play. So, for me, it was like, okay, well, I locked those 6 players in. So, I had 3 from Manchester United and 3 from Manchester City. So I thought, let me lock them in. Whenever they play that game, they're locked in my team for this game week. And when they do play, the points will get added. The other teams will obviously they'll stay locked in and it won't count. But little did I know that the other teams could change their players and I wouldn't get used. So effectively, I played the first game week. Despite Salah being my captain, I got 20 points. I only played with 5 players because at that point I didn't really have a bench which had any strength. I thought I'd go all guns blazing, set up my team. And that was more about it. But then I kind of educated myself more around the game, understood the game, and now I feel that once I've understood it, I can let you guys know not to make those same errors. So that's the reason why my game week rank, I can go through with you, that's not a problem. So far, I'm 1.228 mil. To let you guys know, I went as far low as 2 weeks ago as 1.5 mil with those 16 points drop, but I have come up 300,000 in the rank. Again, it could be due to the decisions I make, but if I compare it to if I'd been reserved or conservative with the team I had and not taking those hits, I probably still would have been around the 1.4, 1.5 mil mark. My aim for this season obviously is to finish as high as I can, but if I can get anywhere within the top 900,000, maybe higher, that is my aim at the moment. Because it's such a condensed league, you never know, the higher I go, the better it is. For me, I'm more focusing on following my inkling and getting the best players in and getting the highest points per week rather than what my overall ranking is. But next season, I'm going to aim to be the best in the league, obviously, which we always do. But sometimes you just got to live and learn, and that's what this year has been for me. And that's what I've learned. I'm going to share with you guys and let you guys know how you guys can be the best at your leagues and your kind of round cups or kind of mini leagues that you have in the game. So the next one I have is Ward-Prowse for Gundogan. Why not? If you look at Southampton's next game week fixtures after this, you got Brighton and Hove Albion, but they blank in 29. But they've got Burnley, West Brom, and Crystal Palace. So they all look very kind of appetising fixtures. And obviously without Danny Ings, I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but why not get Ward-Prowse in? He's going to be on the set pieces, corners, free kicks, penalties. He's basically going to be the one-man show. And he's only worth 5.9 mil, owned by 9% of the managers. So he may be a great differential. Gundogan, again, the rotational risk applies. He's owned by 40% of managers. Now, if he scores and you don't own him, yes, that's going to be a risk on your ranking. But really, is it worth having him? And you can potentially save like 0.3 mil and probably improve your defender or upskill or upgrade one of your attackers or midfielders. Again, it's your choice. Do you have a wild card left? Do you see your team without Gundogan? When was his last return? So I know he got a return against Wolves coming on for 8 minutes alone, but the last time he got a return before that was the Spurs game where he was subbed after 68 minutes. So again, maybe he's losing form. Maybe the fact that he's playing a bit deeper in terms of further back in his defensive line and De Bruyne has gone forward. Is that the case why his goals have dried up? I'm not too sure, but City today didn't seem like the City that have been playing for the last 28 games unbeaten, so they've got something to reflect. There might be a few changes for midweek or there might not be any changes and Guardiola goes, do you know what, you guys go back out there, get me a reaction. So that'd be interesting to see. But for me, Ward-Prowse, Gundogan, I'd go Ward-Prowse out of the two on this occasion based on what I've seen so far. Is it time to take out Phil Foden? He hasn't played for a couple of weeks. Yes, he hasn't. Well, Phil Foden's always been a hit. I haven't had him in my team. I had Greenwood at the start of the season, but Greenwood's become more of a regular now compared to what Foden's getting in terms of minutes. But when Foden is on, he's absolutely immense. But today he had a few chances, didn't convert them, put a few balls across the box. There was no one at the end of it. Maybe like an Aguero or someone at the end of it may have got the end of it and stuck it in. He had a good chance where he was on the spin, past Lindelof, kicked the ball wide, past Dean Henderson's post. So yeah, you're brave for keeping him in, but if you're actually spending six and a half million on a player that's not going to play, I definitely would take him out. But now I've said that, he probably will get like a double-digit return against Southampton or against Fulham next week. But for me, based on what I've seen, I wouldn't have Phil Foden at all. Who's the best value keeper in the game? For me, I've got him in my team. It's Martinez. For the number of points he's got, for the number of saves he's made, absolutely brilliant. He's only worth 5.4 now. I got him when he was, I think, 4.5 in the first week. 149 points, 14 clean sheets. He's an absolute immense goalkeeper. There's no reason why you shouldn't have him. If you want to have a second choice, for me, at the moment, I would definitely say Nick Pope. 5.5 mil. Obviously, start of the season, there was $1 million difference in the price, but now that's just 0.1. If you're looking to get two keepers in, Martinez followed by Nick Pope very, very closely. DCL or Richarlison, who shall I get into my team? So that's a good question, because I was going to say DCL because he was my triple captain tip a week and a half ago on the double game week. But Richarlison scored 1 goal in the last 2 games in each game, so he's kind of been the talisman. Based on the seasonal stats, DCL obviously is more favourable, but if you look at the last couple of game weeks, who's been more in form, then definitely it's going to be Richarlison. Again, it depends on what kind of player you want to go more for. Do you want to go for someone like Richarlison, who you know has been there, done it for a couple of seasons, or if you've got someone like DCL whose breakthrough season has come now? So it's entirely your choice, but I'll give you the next 3 fixtures, which is Burnley, Crystal Palace and Brighton. All winnable games. Everton, they've got a good attacking force. I mean, Sigurdsson for me has been a revelation. I know he's not a starting player, but when he does come on, they just look a formidable outfit. And with James Rodriguez, obviously, if he's fit, if he's playing, then these two are someone you can consider. But looking at those fixtures, why not bring both of them in? Why don't you be different? Go double up on Everton. But again, it's entirely your choice what you feel. But I would say if I had to choose out of the two, I would definitely take, at this present moment, I'll take Richarlison. Because there is a chance that if Sigurdsson is not on the pitch, where there's a likelihood, he'll take penalties. So bear that in mind as well. So if I go for a few more players which I think have done well for me this week, Vardy, big flop. I've said that, so you might probably be thinking, I'm going to take him out of my team. He's been a big letdown for me. I spent, out of my budget, he's worth 10.2 mil. But if you look at the last 1, 2, 3, 4 game weeks, he's got 1 assist for me. If you look at 5, he's got 1 assist, 1 goal. But in the last 3 games, he's got no returns at all. Now, for someone who I'm paying 10 million out of my 100 million budget, that's simply not good enough. Now, if I take him out and he turns around and scores a hat-trick next week against Sheffield, that's just my bad luck. But I'm not going to risk that without, obviously, Harvey Barnes and Maddison being in the team and all the pressure being on Youri Tielemans. And I don't think Vardy's fit. If you look at him carefully, he doesn't have that extra kind of like spring in his stride. He's not kind of hitting those marks. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to fare without, obviously, the 2 players I've mentioned. But his fitness as well. Is he fully fit? I'm not too sure. Iheanacho's been amazing. Now, if I had to choose out the 2, based on the last couple of games, Iheanacho, wow. Like the goal he scored yesterday, great, presence of mind, took the ball under his kind of like control, saw the keeper come out, lifted it, lobbed it over him, goal. So Vardy, watch out for the space. He might be going out of my squad. Bamford still to play. So I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, still to play in this squad. So let's see what other questions I got sent through to myself on the screen. We have, is it time to get rid of Liverpool players? I don't know, I can't say. Again, if you take them out and they start scoring from next week onwards, it's a chance you're going to take. Do you have a wild card left? Again, this is why I left the fixtures for Game Week 29 on the screen. So have a look. You can see there's no Liverpool playing that game. If you've got 3 players and you've got a wild card and you're not happy with their performance, look at Mane. He didn't even start today. He was rotated. Salah taken off 60 minutes in the previous game. Jota's coming back in, so a lot of people might not even have him in their squad. So if you want to do a bit of re-tinkering or you want to move them, maybe triple up on someone like West Ham rather than Leeds as well, rather than Liverpool at present. But never write them off because they still got a chance to get into Europe. Sorry about that. But let's see. I personally wouldn't have any of them, not because I'm a United fan, but if you look at my team, I used to have Mo Salah as my captain for the first, I think, 18 game weeks of this year. And I've had Trent in my squad, I've had Robertson, I had Van Dijk before he got injured, so it's no affiliation with United why I've got no Liverpool players. It's just I feel that they're not value for their money at the moment based on their form, and their recent results fully vindicate my decision. I probably would have pulled my hair out if I had any of them in my squad and as captain. So for me, get rid, look at those fixtures on the bottom right, get 3 players in from those teams and proper stack up your odds to get maximum points from there. And if you have a free hit, just do it with that and they'll come back in for the following week, so you won't actually feel that you've lost those players or lost out on any kind of points or taken any hits. So bear that in mind, guys, as well. I'm fed up with Liverpool. I want to play my wild card. Go ahead. But I'd wait if I was you, because I think there might be an announcement for a double game week later this season. So if you're going to play it this week, yes, there's a possibility that players' prices will go up and it might become a bit more challenging. But give it till Friday. There might be an announcement that, I'm not saying it's definitely going to be, but there might be an announcement for a double game week in the next couple of weeks or something near the end of the season. So watch out for the space. Don't go diving in straight away. It might be the fact that something else might work out better for you. But in this situation, if you've got Liverpool players and you want to get rid and play your wild card, makes absolute sense with game week 29 approaching and those 4 game week fixtures at the bottom. Feel free to bring in as many players from those squads as you can to really give yourself a comparative advantage to go past the managers who probably won't take hits, who probably would only play about 3 to 5 players, and it'll give you a great chance to move up the ranking and cut down the points gap if you are chasing people in your league. Diaz obviously conceded, he got 1 point, he got a yellow card as well. Reguilon, a few good chances, put a few good balls in. Harry Kane got a flick off on a header for Bale to convert, otherwise it probably would have been his assist. He had a chance to put it past the post. So Reguilon, I'm not too disappointed with the 2 points. Palace, Benteke leaped up, reminded me of the Benteke from the Aston Villa days. Where has he been at Liverpool and Palace for all these years? Not been doing that. Maybe it's the start of a new... Actually, is it worth bringing in Benteke? I might even have a look at that in my plan. Is Crystal Palace playing? This is why I got these fixtures that Crystal Palace isn't playing. I'll give him 2 more weeks, so watch this space. If he performs in the next 2 weeks and after game week 29, I feel that he's done a good job. I will play, actually not play, I'll bring him in to give myself a differential. Might even take Vardy out for Benteke. Now that would be a move and a half for you guys to see. Which Leicester players should I bring in? Only one at the moment for me. Yuri Tielemans, absolute. Actually, let's say 2. Yuri Tielemans, definitely absolute banging in form. Lovely goals, through balls, through to the striker, which is Iheanacho. He buried it. Secondly, Iheanacho, he might get more game time with Maddison and Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes being out, so why not get him in? Iheanacho might grab you a few goals. So from Leicester's point of view, I'd have them 2 in my squad. Is it worth holding my wild card? We've discussed this already. There might be double game weeks in the future. If you want to hold on to it and you feel that you don't need to make these changes now, then feel free to. But if you want to play it, I fully understand why you would play it now. What are my plans? Ooh, now that's a good question. I have big plans. So I'm not going to reveal them tonight. But based on those 4 game fixtures you can see in the bottom right, they're going to be the ones that are going to determine my hits this week. So I'm taking 5 transfers. I've got 1 transfer available, so I'm going to take a 4 transfer hit, which is 16 points. Yes, it's going to cost me in terms of ranking, but do you know what? If I can get players into my squad that are going to maximise the number of players I have playing in that game week 29, then it's worth taking a hit, because I can see some favourable fixtures which we'll go through on the deadline stream for game week 28, which I'll go through with you guys in terms of why I made the decisions and why I feel that long term, or maybe in the short term in the 2-3 weeks before the game week 33 blank because of City and Spurs, it may suit me better, because as you can see, I've got 6 players from City and 5 players from City and Spurs in my squad. Have I given you guys something away? Am I bringing in another Spurs player? We'll have to wait and see for that. So this is my reaction stream so far for this week. I'm above average, I believe, but we haven't got the latest figures. But Bale and Kane scoring so well has kind of put a few doubts in me. But I believe the differentials that I had in Ward, Prowse, Shaw, the lack of ownership that I did have kind of puts me in a good step for this week itself. So for me, I think I've done pretty well. My aim is for these last 5 players that I have left to play, if I can get my points up from about, I think I'm about 58. So if I can get it to around 80, I reckon that would be a good week for me. Any more would be absolutely fantastic. But my aim is to finish above average. Can I get above 80, 90, even 100 if Bruyne has a good game as my captain against Southampton? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much for viewing my content. This is my first live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't make too many mistakes. Let me know how it went. I love all the support you guys are giving me. I'm 20% through my bet. Keep subscribing, keep liking my videos, keep watching my content, and hit the notification icon for me to get that bet win and get my PS5 so I can show you guys that it has been a success doing this channel, sharing my tips with you guys. And actually, to be fair, when I speak to you guys, it actually makes me feel a whole lot better. And I hope you guys enjoy the content I do, and anything I do say, it does help you in your game and allows you to feel more comfortable when you press that difficult decision button of transfers in, out. I can help you, or choose your chip buttons. I can help you there. So please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let me know what you think. Leave me some feedback. I'll put the league code at the bottom left of the screen. Join the FPL Inkling kind of league that we do have. Thank you for everyone who has joined. All I'm going to say is to people who haven't, why? Get involved, get part of our community, get part of our family, and let's make this a success. Let me know how you think it's gone, and I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. I will be bringing out more videos this week. You'll have a captaincy video, which I've done before. You'll have the top 5 picks and differential essentials, like a tongue twister there, which I'll release as well, followed by the deadline stream. And I may do a couple more videos in between in terms of like special videos for value players if I get a chance as well. So the ones I mentioned before, the special videos, they're definitely going to be released. So watch out for the space and let me know how I've done. Have a lovely evening, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you guys soon. Best of luck if you've got players still to play, and good luck for next week for the decisions you do make.